what everybody's thinking. Dynamite was complete garbage. Out of most of the shows that I've watched, this was supposed to be the homecoming for at least some sort of mainstream credibility, whether the ratings, whatever the viewership, whatever sort of positive outtake. Whoever you're like popular wrestling YouTuber that probably takes like over 10 minutes to sum up over 2 hours of content. With a bit, please at least be a bit more honest. Dynamite was terrible. It was what could have been any semblance of potential having fucking Sting, Shaquille O'Neal on the same show. Your world champion just come out of like going to like a expensive indie fed over to make his appearance over that he's gonna be like his old indie self. Very little character, just work rate. All he does is talk trash. That's technically it. And they want to come over to me whenever I speak outside of, with friends and talk about pro wrestling. Why I don't even bother doing same feds. First of all, it's dumb going back and forth. You miss out on stuff. Second, more important show because it's not over a pseudo developmental field, and plus it has more star power. I like Shotzi Blackheart, but she's too hot to be playing around in a stupid septic tank made with Power Wheel engines. You have your most interesting star got injured for multiple months out of Karrion Kross. That's the only guy that looks like a non-jobber. You have Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa gonna stay there for probably 50 years with the only guys that they only have that are probably gonna move up to the main roster. Be probably Damian Priest or some crap because at least he looks like a more attractive Baron Corbin when he still had hair. I don't give a damn about NXT. They can come around bringing up frickin' War Games plus Ultimate X, all that matters. It sucks. It sucks. Sorry. But other than that, we had a crappy episode of Dynamite. We opened up with the Young Bucks just having a 2HQ that didn't even have their entrance. They were selling over the factor like last minute over, a German suplex over the top trying to reverse a move, and they actually think of selling back his ankle that he haven't sold since his match with FTR. Counters off Inzaguri's just in it was false finish out of false finish out of three ways the match could have ended to at least tell semblance of a story. And it ended up off a BTE trigger. Dude, let me tell you, I don't want to like feel like, oh David, you don't want. I want AEW to succeed. You're a younger Fed with a lot of potential stars. I like Miro, but to be honest, he's been taken more seriously even when he was getting shoveled on WWE television. Even though people don't didn't like his storyline he had with Lashley, it grossed viewers. Even though it looked like Miro was primarily getting cooked, he was coming out of a Mania tank. He was literally coming at WrestleMania, coming for a tank representing Russia, a big Euro heel facing off against the top baby face in the company, and that gave him notoriety. He was feuding with Rusev, he was feuding with Seth Rollins, he was feuding with Roman Reigns. He had over catchphrases, and he was just taken more seriously. Now he's just a random big buff gamer doing nothing except feuding with a jobber gay team called the Best Friends. That's not going to be taken seriously. No way if he gets creative freedom or not. Get a writer. Do something with his character. Being a gamer is not interesting. And Kenny Omega referencing that over the factor of him being the world champion is not going to compel viewers to watch. And you can see that after their consistent outtakes, even when they had Sting, they tied over viewership. And they come around only getting summed up only 150 thousand more viewers than NXT. That's not much to gawk at. And yes, they're a younger Fed. They will take a while until at least they grow some semblance of more of a fan base that's more casual enough for even like equal to when TNA was at least in their peak. At least TNA was more better at pacing their stuff. And it took them years when they started over from weekly pay-per-views to 40 minutes of like an hour event to now 2 hours to at least enough notoriety to compete with Monday Night Raw. And as well as unsuccessful it was, it took growing pains. Yo, I'm just telling you, dog. I don't care. It ended up with SCU coming out to assist them after a post match assault, even though they lost. Why do they keep having these dark jobbers coming out and having these 15-minute nothing matches with some of the guys that are from the main roster? It makes no sense. I like Brian Pillman Jr., but he shouldn't have. If he's staying for dark for these amount of months, why in the hell is he getting like a over 10-minute match worth none of our time against FTR? And then there's nothing feud over with Shaquille O'Neal over the jobber youngest son of Dusty Rhodes, all because of some crap from social media that's not going to get people to watch. I don't know why is this even happening on television. A random squash match involving Dusty Rhodes picking up a roll-up victory off Mr. 10. Dude, what the hell's with the Dark Order? I have my issues with Retribution. At least they somewhat find an origin why they exist over being underutilized off WWE talent. As shit as they are, at least they seem to have an average motive until they got that messed up. But at least you know the origin of why they exist. What the hell is the Dark Order? They want to be like, oh, we're this cultic faction that comes around trying to cooperate people to join. For what reason? It makes no sense. The only importance that they ever had was when Brody Lee was TNT champion. And he could have just got that alone, just wallowing around as the Exalted One, even though he was the only one not to wear masks next to John Silver, next to Stu Grayson, next to Alex Reynolds, and a Jay. So there's no semblance of an organization anywhere. And then they're just treated as complete jokes and kayfabe's off the window because people watch BTE sometimes. There's no character. No one knows why they exist. No one knows their origin or particularly most of their characters. They act like comedic jokes. They come around trying to persuade Hangman Adam Page to join them, to join them in a six-man tag involving the Private Party and Matt Hardy the next week on Dynamite. And John Silver and Reynolds just come around looking like jobber jokes like they do in BTE, and then mega sus. It's dumb. And then you have Evil Uno trying to persuade Dustin Rhodes to join for no damn reason. Then after literally pin slapping him in the face and literally a 2-on-6 differential and disrespecting his place in the family, he just comes around doing nothing. What's the benefit of this? Most like 6 out of 7 of you guys are jobbers. Mr. 10 they took seriously for 1 minute until they made him job to Moxley. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson are only competent guys, but other than that, they're completely irrelevant. And then we got John Silver and freaking Alex Reynolds that have like a few cool moves. And sure, John Silver expresses a bit more of a personality out of the Dark Order. But if you have something called the Dark Order, don't you think you should be more silent, less expressive, more intimidating, more mysterious? And he comes around looking like a gay, wet midget, short-haired, long-beard asshole that I don't want to associate with. And he comes around jobbing out anyway. I'm sorry if I say this, gay. It's dumb. I hate the Dark Order. I don't give a damn if Hangman Adam Page does join anyway with his rip-off James Storm Steve Austin gimmick. And he comes around doing brawler-type moves while doing shooting star presses. I hate his wrestling matches. I hate Hangman Adam Page. God, I'm sorry if I'm getting agitated right now, but I expected a lot more off this episode. They come around with Cody trying to rush over a promo interviewing Tony Giovanni, I guess questioning why Sting assisted them, and I was like, we had more questions than answered. Sting came out of nowhere, interfering over the promo, and it looks like a lot more like interaction's gonna happen because we had a cool vignette involving that he's still with this decent therapy scene, and while talking about Team Taz, they come around over a final picture that he laughs at that is Sting's face paint. Uh, it's just, oh god, dude, I'm just trying to care. I want to care. And literally, this is like some of the reasons why like professional wrestling loses popularity. You see fans formally say that they used to watch more times than they actually, peak at like a regular episode. And I'm not just saying AEW or NXT, New Japan, like at least WWE because that's the most accessible and that's the most popular. So obviously, people's gonna watch what's gonna be on free television, and it's complete garbage. Like complete crap. I'm sorry. But dude, we had Abaddon that just looks like an albino autistic fat boogeyman, and Boogeyman was taken more seriously, and he lied about his freaking age on Tough Enough. Choking out some random jobber, doing some dumb moves, slobbering with her period blood in her mouth. I don't take her seriously. Freaking Al Snow doesn't take her seriously. If you're not taken seriously off a guy who got over off a mannequin head, and yeah, you can say, oh, but Al Snow wasn't a main eventer. He doesn't have to be a main eventer to get over. He had the Job Squad. He had his stuff when he was part of Gut Check. He had, of course, his stuff back in the Ruthless Aggression and the Attitude Era, and his stuff with ECW. The guy has a notable track record, whether you like it or not. Al Snow is more over than probably half of the AEW women's roster, or most of it, to be honest. Hikaru Shida comes around just whacking her with the kendo stick after saving her from the little jobber, and then later on, it's she just no sells it and it's like, oh my god, I'm supposed to take this little bitch seriously. It's just so dumb, dude. I have Nyla Rose is more attractive than Abaddon, and I know that's supposed to be Abaddon's gimmick, some weird zombie freak. Even though Sue Young could be more intimidating, but dude, I don't give a crap. We also had a promo involving Kenny Omega explaining his actions over his AEW title win, his reasons over Impact. In Listen, I don't mind if you try to treat your world champion like $1,000,000. It's good to see that you put a majority of your priority on trying to make sure that your top champion has the most buys and the most important thing. You have to make him look important. He comes around in a helicopter with this bald ass piece of gar. He looks like Dr. Venture mixed with a terrible porn star director, sniffed out hair plug piece of crap. He looks like if Joey Styles aged 20 years worse. He's ugly. I hate him. I only saw a bit of him when he was doing commentary for like Slammiversary 2019 last year. That's about it. Don Callis sucks. And bringing up that this has been 27 years in the making with one of the great. No one knows who Kenny Omega is. No one gave a damn about his match over with Chris Jericho at Wrestle Kingdom, his matches with Okada. No, none of that's gonna spread over a wide stream. His little statistical value over what he did over the last every day. Sometimes that can be cool for like a lower mid card gimmick, like what Matt Hardy did with version 1. But at least nobody can take that seriously. And the most he did with version 1, he won the Cruiserweight Championship against Rey Mysterio. Not that impressive. Even though it's cool and it's shocking how you see Matt Hardy now, and yes, he was a cruiserweight back in '02 because he was younger. And now we have freaking Kenny Omega doing reference doing his goodbye and good night, going to the hardcore fans is like, where's this coming from? What the fuck is this? I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cuss, so I try to censor myself there. Crappy attempt. Not trying that again though. But what the hell is that? That looks super corny. Goodbye and good night. It's just so gay. More. I have seen better charisma from Mason Ryan from WWE back when he was part of the Nexus. Oh God, and it's so ass over his video game references and the little white girls with their smacked '80s outfits with the brooms. And I understand that's supposed to be a obligation to make him feel more important, but it just looks retarded. And you're going to take it by some, but you know it's dumb. We we had jobber matches. We had a random 6-man tag over a back suplex hitting Penta Zio Miro, and he's already out with just getting hit over a table. It wasn't like a triple power bomb where it took more force. It was just Blade tossing him over a table. Somehow, Lance Archer's heel, a babyface, tagging over with the Death Triangle. Big boots. Then Butcher and Blade take out Phoenix. The match ends with somehow the heels over on top, so they're probably going to make this continue over with two jobber groups that nobody even know the identity of what Eddie Kingston even associates with the Butcher and Blade other than to get back at Penta and Phoenix. It's so dumb. I care less. I want to care because I think that Eddie Kingston's a compelling talker, but everybody know that there's no fucking rhyme or reason why in the hell Lance Archer's even affiliating with some of these guys at all, and the only thing to save me was like a scuffed, like fake Dominican Dominic that's Taz's son, was like in a promo, investing over Sting and what's gonna happen next week involving Team Taz. Who better, I guess. I don't mind Team Taz, but it's like a makeshift of decent guys just affiliating with Taz to just give them something to do other than commentate on Dark. And I'd rather like Taz have a commentary job on Dynamite than Excalibur because all he does is like Fujiwara armbar, Meltzer driver. Like he doesn't have any other compelling calls. He's never that in depth on his commentary. He comes around looking like a scuffed, double chinned, masked freak fat ass that can't call anything. He sucks. Stop having Excalibur on commentary. I'd rather have Tom Phillips while scuffing down Vidakin with Michael Cole sucking him off on commentary, calling a 30-minute fatal 5-way Iron Man match on NXT, and that's probably gonna happen next year. I will bet freaking money on this. Oh God, dude, I wanna be more excited when I talk about Dynamite. Brandy Rose coming around splashing water on Shaq after they discussed about Jade breaking her arm the previous episodes on Dynamite. And then that's about it. Then they had an outfitting brawl that made no damn sense. This women's division sucks ass. Sorry, dude. It does. It does. And it sucks. Because they didn't show Britt Baker when it shows that she's having this little rivalry with Thunder Rosa. Why isn't that more on TV? With, your more compelling talker and, of course, an attractive Hispanic, pretty captivating wrestler like Thunder Rosa. Yet we're having Jade, this random glossy black bitch that comes out of nowhere, breaking up Brandy's arm for some out of place feud to just gather some desperate plea for ratings. Because obviously Cody knows in his heart of hearts that he can't draw. Tony Khan sucks at running this shit. And I'm being really serious. Ugh. MJF, this was somehow a makeshift lumberjack match for a ring that really doesn't do anything. Even earlier on, there's supposed to be like more coexistence with the inner circle because there's been ongoing arguments involving Sammy Guevara and MJF because obviously Sammy Guevara and the rest of the inner circle don't trust MJF and Wardlow. Well, mostly MJF. It had a decent segment, averagely okay. I don't know where Santana is, and the main event not involving Moxley trying to get a rematch for the world title, not involving Sting getting more addressals out. Or at least more important guys on the card. It was literally Orange Cassidy versus MJF. That's like a freaking match. That's like a mid-card pay-per-view match. No one cares. Why are these guys main eventing? Now, of course, I have my positives about MJF, and I do stick by it. I think the guy's a compelling talker. He's talented in the ring, and he can be a generic, basic enough heel to get some average heat when he can. And Orange Cassidy's like a basic, like likable, borderline jobber gimmick that can get over. And it sucks ass why these guys main event. You don't have your vocal minority dictate what you have for your main event on your prime time show. It makes no sense in my opinion. And it's fighting for a ring that I think for a majority of the year since MJF uses it other than a foreign weapon, it gathers privilege, no other opportunities at the title, no bigger advantages when it comes to even financially or at least in the power rankings. Nobody knows what this ring does. And yet these guys were fighting so hard over the inner circle, trying to give MJF more of a disadvantage. These guys come around just kicking out the same move, counters off the salt of the earth, reversals over the fire, over the iron, Superman punch, then false finish, counters over the best friends trying to come out, then baseball bat. That was, I think, a clever finish over Orange Cassidy, not even trying to catch it. Then the fake, he hit me with the bat thing. That instead of it was MJF getting, Orange Cassidy getting TQ'd, it would be MJF. It ends with Miro coming out and clotheslining him like he did, I think, a few weeks ago. And then that's it with the best friends with Chuck Taylor for getting tossed out over the stage. It was dumb. I already hate the hell out of Miro. It's because he's getting treated like shit on AEW. It just feels so bland. You have a match that makes zero climbing of a sense, and I don't even give a damn about the Dynamite ring because it really doesn't give you any central benefits anyway. Where the hell is Moxley? Probably they can be like, oh, he's nursing his injuries from getting bombed on the eye with a literal microphone. God, it's just so dumb. And they want me to get over the sycophantic type that, oh, Kenny Omega, he gotta be world champion. What part of captivity is Kenny Omega gonna give his world champion? He probably is gonna beat Rich Swann and beat him for the Impact title. Then he's gonna go to New Japan. That's not gonna give any buys, dude. I don't give a damn about Impact or New Japan. It's just not interesting. Bro, you gotta, like, literally think about this for a second. What part of this is actually going to make you actually watch this weekly, other than the exceptional work rate and amazing, somewhat okay, like rush storytelling? And it's so dumb how you guys even think that's even how it works. Kenny Omega is like could have been pushed decently for the TNT title enough. I don't give a damn. At least it's a mid card belt. Why in the hell is he getting so pushed over his throat with his nerdy like New Japan persona over when he was world champion in the Bullet Club? And even when that was happening, it was already gay in the first place because people have been waiting for a long time. Oh, dude, this rant really scuffed over, and I really didn't want to get angry. I really wanted to enjoy this episode of Dynamite, but dude, they just keep trying. They just keep trying. I don't know why. It's not that hard to make an average show, but dude, Orange Cassidy already outlived his chances over on the top of the card. I don't give a damn about Brandy feuding with Jade. Abaddon sucks ass. The jobber matches, like we had some team with Garrison K. I mean Garrison, Griff Garrison, and freaking. It's called the Varsity Blondes. It's so gay of a name over a jobber match that ended in over 5 minutes. Over the former tag team champions. It's such work rate BS to make sure you don't have any storytelling. They just want to give you high impact matches because they're so important off the win-loss record. It's so dumb. Stop it. And usually my reviews for AEW are a bit more shorter than Raw or SmackDown because they're at least a combined 5 hours with not me wasting time going over fucking Dark because who reviews goddamn Dark? If I do find a YouTuber like this, I'm just gonna pray for God that one of his arms are stronger than the other. Other than that, that's it coming from the DST show. Like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully, you come subscribe. Subscribe. Actually subscribe. Other than that, hopefully you take your time and try to watch the video. Enjoy your time. Thanks for watching.